Do you ever feel like you are actually always choosing other people's needs for your own? And by the end of the day, you already so drained that you've got nothing left. You are not alone. Many of us struggle with actually prioritizing ourselves and actually always feel like loving ourselves is a priority. You cannot pour from an empty cup. You have to have yourself first before you give others. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to prioritize yourself. That is empowering, not selfish. You can take to prioritize yourself, take back your time, and show up as your best self for the people you care about. This might be the video you've been waiting for. First and foremost, you need to understand why you actually feel guilty prioritizing yourself. You know, society has actually mold women in a way of making them feel guilty if they choose themselves first. Women have been culturally molded by the society that we are always at the receiving end because we are nurturing and choosing yourself or picking yourself, taking yourself as your priority is like is always time being selfish. And I'm a Nigerian. I'm not even really talking about Nigeria as a whole or how women are in Nigeria. No, I'm just talking about how the world sees it in a way. Society has made us always feel like we have to sacrifice ourselves basically. We have to always be at the front end. We have to always be at the receiving end. I'm saying, for example, both men and women, we know as parents basically we have equal right to the children. Like yes, we both contributing to giving birth to them. We have equal rights to them, right? But society has made it so, I don't know, like a stigma where when a woman is trying to prioritize her life and choosing herself, choosing her career, and actually taking care of her kids in a way, they tell you, oh, why are you doing that? Why are you not focusing more on your kids? I mean, are you not the one that is supposed to be both parents for the kids? I'm not joking. But when a man wants to do that, it's okay. Nobody's going to blame you. I mean, you are the carer, or you are going out there, work for money, and coming back to the work. Who says women do not have to actually work for their money? And I've always been a pro of financial security or financial dependence in women because human beings generally we are unpredictable and men are worse. Trust me. I'm not actually trying to be sexiest or something. I'm just saying, really, seriously. So I'm always just trying to say, whatever. Why are you feeling guilty? Why are you feeling guilty choosing yourself first? We both decide that we are going to raise children. We are both going to actually put it in their life that we are raising our children. Why does the fall have to fall on me? Why do I have to be the one that contributes more to raising them? I believe I've always have this belief that if you prioritize yourself, love yourself within, not pretense. I know people are going to label you, oh, she's selfish. Why is he choosing a career over a woman? Let me tell you something I did one time. When I was coming to the UK, I I had I just had my baby, my 1 year old baby, and she was just about though I just had the baby for like I think she was almost 1 year when I left. But my point is that when I actually wanted to drop her because I came to the UK before my family, and when I actually wanted to drop her, I actually remember because I was gonna drop her with my mom, my mother-in-law. But I remember people telling me or telling my mom basically, I mean telling my mom that how could a woman drop her baby like that? I mean, how could she actually really Doesn't she have any motherly instincts? Does she not have any human instinct? I mean, women, we are. I've always said this. Women, we are our problem. It's a woman that will talk. It's a woman that needs defending. Do you get what I'm trying to say? I feel like men, they contribute to our problem, but we mothers, aunties, we are actually contributing to it more. I mean, if my husband had actually think he was coming to the UK to work or study or do something, all hands on deck, everyone is okay with it. But if a woman decides to do the same, it's enough. It's my point is that why are you trying to actually feel like you are disappointing people that do not really care? I mean, if you do what they want anyway, it's still gonna be the same thing, and you are still gonna feel sad. Prioritize your happiness, my dear. It's liberating. I'm not joking. And the act of not really caring, it's everything. So think about this. You need to have to go and find your why. The why you are feeling like you can actually love yourself enough. Second thing you actually need to do is you need to shift your mindset. Prioritizing you is not, it's not something that anyone has a say in it. You cannot always continue to feel like you being self loving, finding yourself, prioritizing yourself. You have to always understand that it's a human needs. Love is a human needs, and before you can actually give back that love, you have to actually love yourself first. I always feel like in a scenario where I always feel like um if I want something, I think I've genuinely just always feel like when I want something I get it, except I don't want it enough. If I want something, I want it for me, except I don't want that thing enough. So me picking prioritizing myself or actually loving myself in a way, I have never ever thought it was selfish. And it has enabled me to actually give to others. Honestly, I I genuinely love this kind of what I have. I've always been so not so open minded. I've always been so open minded. I've always genuinely loved people. I've always been so friendly around people. And that is because I've always placed myself in that position of I have to actually prioritize myself. I have to love myself before I can actually give you anything. When I was getting married, my dad said, "Are you really ready to do this?" I was young, but I have always wanted to get married early, and I've always loved the concept of having someone else seeing you for who you are. I mean, loving you, loving all of you, regardless of your flaws. So, I've always been a pro of, yeah, I wanted to get married early. But if it's not something for you, I don't think it's worth sacrificing it for anyone. If you want to actually have few children and you feel like your partner wants to have maybe one, it's worth talking about. I mean, many of us actually ignore those things and think, oh, maybe they will change. Nobody ever really changes. The change that occur is when we are trying to actually change our attitude towards things. And I feel like it has always been about balance. You cannot give what you lack, and you cannot lack what you give. It's a concept of having a balance to both. Loving yourself and prioritizing yourself is not about selfishly taking picking yourself or keeping yourself away from harm, or picking yourself first in a way. Loving yourself is so much than that. Can you balance both? Life is just all about balance. One cannot be more than one. You are loving yourself, but you are not being selfish with others. You are not actually trying to sabotage people in a way. Do you get where I'm coming from? So loving yourself, it's just trying to actually prioritize yourself, not in a selfish way. Remember this and take this and hold it to heart. Loving myself, that's what I tell myself. Loving myself, it's a necessity for me. It's not selfish. I don't care who has to actually hear that. It is not selfish. And I've always been a pro of putting myself out there. As much as I want to spend time, be a mom, love my kids, and actually be there for them, I encourage the power of finding little time for yourself too. Life can be so overwhelming sometimes, but it's you that is going to be left to pick up the pieces. My kids know me. If I need a me time, I need a me time. I don't want disturbed. If I want to have their time, I sit down with them, we play, we do whatever we are going to do. We do our movies and then we have the time for this. But I have the time for them. But if I try constantly to balance both. I don't want them to lack the love they need from me. And I don't want to give myself too much that I'm going to be exhausted and it's going to affect them. So remember when I tell you, when you are actually choosing yourself first, it's not about anyone. It's about you. I in where I come from, they tell you a woman has to it's normal for women to sacrifice. For example, if you are being emotionally abused, they will tell you do it for your kids. This is not a joke. I'm not joking. If you are being physically abused, they will tell you continue to go through it. You are doing it for your kids. I would say something in my language. They tell you àwọn ọmọ you would reap the fruit of your labor, but you have children. What else do you want? I'm not this is the common norms among our mothers, where you tell them, oh, you're actually going through something with your man, or your man is actually being really abusive. They honestly tell you that, but you have children. What else do you want? They literally tell you to live for your children, basically. I mean, they literally tell you to, live in a way like live this life for your children, because your children can be someone in life. Your children can be successful. So you have to take that, you have to take all that negativity, you have to take all that abuse for your children. Is it for them? And if you think about it, if these children grow up seeing you unhappy, they would know. If these children grow up seeing you the way you are, if you have nothing to give them, that's the way this cycle continues. That's the same way they are gonna grow. So are you actually living for them, or you're actually living against them? It's something against, to be honest. It's not for them. So you have to actually give what you have. You cannot give what you don't have. So remember when I tell you that you cannot give what you don't have. You have to actually give love yourself. Look at yourself and tell yourself, I am worthy. I am beautiful and amazing. The little self affirmation you give yourself, seriously, I'm not joking, it works. It sounds cliche, right? I know, but it helps me. I don't know, it works for me. Do you actually tell yourself that? I know we human beings, we actually like to actually see the little negative things about ourselves, the little negative things we have, the little negative sides to ourselves. we look at each or ourselves in the mirror and we see one imperfect thing about us and we think, okay, that's it. I'm not worthy. I mean, we are humans, we are not perfect. So what do you expect? There's one hair growing where you don't like it to grow. There's one thing you wish you have for yourself but you don't have. But if you actually focus on those things that are actually bad, you won't see any good things about you. You won't actually see the good things you have. You won't actually really look at yourself and think, I deserve this. I am worth this. Set clear boundaries. Setting clear boundaries actually mean you respect your time, your energy, and your mental health. You saying no to things actually does not we should, why are we justifying saying no to things? If it's for you and you are saying no to it because you just cannot do it, I mean, just say no. Just say no. You don't know the power of actually doing that. Is politely declining what you don't like, letting people actually know what you can handle and what you cannot. For example, I cannot really help with this right now, and I do hope you understand. It's a clear sentence. Just declining without actually feeling guilty. Yes, we want to help others. We want to actually make people validate us, but is that really necessary? We want to actually make, we want to feel good. It's absolute. I'm not saying we cannot help others, but if it's something you at that moment you cannot do and you know you cannot, then why are you trying to actually satisfy someone or saying that? We live in a world where we actually want to feel validated all the time. But trust me, when you continue to take orders before you, when you continue to say yes for everything, even if it makes you feel uncomfortable, even if you don't like it, the one time you say no, you're a bad person. I mean, I've lived that. The one time I can't say that I'm not saying that I really genuinely don't like the act of kindness. I like act of kindness. I love to be compassionate. I love helping others. But sometimes when I clearly cannot handle it, I just say no, I can't. Sometimes I feel it's so draining when everyone expects so much from you. I mean, you've always shown them kindness, you've always been good to people, you've always like prioritized, not prioritize people generally, but you've always been like, oh, okay, I want them to actually, I don't want to do something that will hurt them basically. And the one time you actually think, oh, okay, today I can't do this, I'm sorry, you've actually turned to be a bad person. I mean, you've been on another record on their book. So why can't you just say no? Why is it so difficult for you to think I I it's difficult for me to say no just because they're gonna say something, or just because they're gonna feel hurt, and just because I want them to love me. Will they? Yeah, small steps you can actually do to prioritize yourself. Set a 10 or 15 minutes daily to do what you love. If it's reading, if it's journaling, just set that time and stick to it. You would actually understand how freeing that can be. You feel like you are doing one thing, just something for you. Try that and see. For example, every day I come to my room, lock my door for just 1 hour. I'm not joking, for just 1 hour, and do something I really want to do. If I'm at work, I come back from home, immediately come back inside, lock my door, pray, and do one thing I wanted to do during the day I couldn't. Another tip I would encourage you is um schedule a time for yourself in the calendar. What do you love to do? Sometimes during the month, I love to go for appointments like waxing. It makes me happy, even though it's painful, but it does make me happy. And that's one thing I genuinely gained in 2024. Like the best thing, one of the best thing I did in 2024 was that setting that appointment. Bills will always come in, especially in this UK. You know how bills are, but I genuinely enjoy the fact that I go for an appointment and I had that time for myself. I really grew up with just shaving like everyone else did. One day I just decided that I was just tired of it. Like I was just tired of the heck, the stress I have to go through. So I spoke to someone that does it every time and then I went for it. Yes, it's painful, but the aftermath is amazing. Amazing. Friends. The little thing I love reading. Those things bring me joy. I love doing my own makeup. Those things bring me joy. I love wearing good clothes. Those things bring me joy. I love decorating little spaces. Oh God, those things bring me joy. I love, I love, I love smiling. I love the energy I have when I'm at work and people tell me, where are you getting this energy from? I just genuinely love being me. It's it frees me. I do not like it when I have to pretend to be someone I'm not. I genuinely don't like it. So when I'm me, it makes me happy. And I have 2024 has just changed things for me in a way. I just genuinely feel like I have pushed myself down just because I've been saying yes to everything. The moment I started saying no, I feel so lightweight. To be honest, I swear, I just genuinely feel like, oh God, I said no. You know that feeling? If I genuinely do not want to go somewhere and I just enjoy being cozy in bed and the friend calls me that, can we go? I'm both, I'm an ambivert. So sometimes I just want to call up with a good TV shows and enjoy little time I spend inside. And sometimes I want to go all out, I love good food. I love this time, the new time I spend with friends. I love going on a date. But if a friend says, "Oh, can we go out to do something?" If I don't want to do it, I say no, and I feel good about it. I don't feel guilty. So remember, say no to things you are not comfortable with. Maybe sometimes it's just best to communicate it so they know what they're expecting. Do you get what I mean? Like I would tell my kids are young, but I would tell them that hey babies, I love you, but mommy needs a me time. Can you please just do not disturb mom? Trust me, they respect that. Yeah, there will still be some little icks, but because there are two, one of them will definitely call the other back and say, "Oh, mommy says she needs a me time. Can you just give her that space?" When I feel like I actually really need that space, I tell my man, let him know. I remember when I was actually really trying to prioritize this self love kind of attitude and all. I told my mom and I told my sister that I'm not doing this for anyone again. I'm not living for anyone else. I'm sorry. I really want to prioritize myself and I really want to prioritize loving myself. And they understand. And I told my man too, and he understands. And I feel like I've genuinely loved more. Like there's this love growing in me where it's enough for me to share with everyone I want to share it with. So genuinely ever since I've just crazily been in love with myself, it enabled me to actually love more. I do things I do not normally do with my children. I do it with them now. I genuinely just feel like it's coming from a place of love, not just because I have to do it because I'm a mom. Do you get where I'm coming from? So sometimes communication helps. Putting yourself first is an act of love for yourself and those around you. When you put yourself first, you are better equipped with everything life throws at you, basically. So, what's the one thing you would do to yourself today? What's the one thing you love to do? And when you finish watching this video, you think, yes, I want to do this and I have to do it. Let me know in the comment section. Thank you so much for actually watching my video. Thank you so much for taking out your time to encourage me, to support me to do this. I really, really love talking to you guys, and it makes me think this I can do. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.